Okay, guys, so it's Vanessa Terry here with Notary to Notary, and I am here with Mr. Derek Hall, and we are going to start the tax and financial management class for notary signing agents. So this is basically going to walk you through everything that you need to know when it comes to setting up your business, you know, what you need to keep track of financially, how to file your taxes, things like that. So I'm actually learning too. So I have my pen and paper because I need to know everything, you know, as much as I can. You know, tax law changes all the time. So I want to make sure that I'm up to date with everything as well. So we'll be learning this together. Ready? Awesome. So take it from here.
I started with H&R Block and fell in love with trying to create and build relationships and provide people with tax help, tax planning, and what have you. And it's just grown every year, and I'm excited to be here.
Yay! I'm so excited because I know like a lot of the students ask all the time, like, how do you do your taxes? How do you file this? And I tell them when I started, I just did a sole proprietor. I didn't even file an LLC.
Right.
And then maybe like 3 years later, no, when I had a sole proprietor, I just filed a Schedule C. And I deducted as many things I could possibly think of that I could take off so I didn't have to pay taxes or as little as possible.
Exactly.
I mean, anything I could think of, I would put it on there. And then, don't tell the IRS. I'm just kidding. And then I filed the LLC and I filed underneath that. But I found out recently that when I first started 3 years ago, I was still doing it wrong. So Mr. Hall is going to teach us how to do it right.
That's right.
So let's start from the beginning. So as a notary, you are self-employed. You're your own entity. So when you start working with signing companies and title companies, things like that, they're not going to bring you on as an employee. They're going to 1099 you. So you get a 1099 at the end of the year. Let's go over first the differences of a sole proprietor. So is it sole proprietor or sole proprietorship?
Well, the act itself is a proprietorship, but you are the proprietor.
Okay, because I kept mixing that. I was like, I don't know, I use both.
Absolutely, absolutely. Most people should start out a hobby. If it's a hobby or something you're not sure if it's going to be something you're going to do long term, start it out as a sole proprietorship, or just go straight into having an LLC, creating an LLC. So proprietorships usually are your social security number using. You can get a fictitious name. In the city of Richmond, you just have to go to the court building and solidify that name. Make sure it's not being used in the city or county or whatever jurisdiction that you're in. The good thing about a sole proprietorship is it's directly connected to you. If you're looking to get something that's tangible to you from a building credit relationship or something starting out and you want to show that you, the individual, have purpose financially or starting out with something. If you're not employed, that's a good thing to do when you're first starting out.
Okay.
Once the business begins becoming profitable or you see it becoming profitable, an LLC kind of by definition is a limited liability corporation. So what it does is you're limited on what your liability is or what your risk assessment is. So that's the next step and something that everybody, if you're a subcontractor or independent contractor, should do. Register as an LLC. You get your tax ID number, register with the state, and that process, everything can be done from that period in one day. Once you get your EIN number off the IRS's website and then register with the State Corporation Commission, the very last thing to do is to get your business license. And if you're in the city of Richmond, whatever your jurisdiction, whether city, county, or what have you, the business license, which looks like it's over there, but in the city of Richmond, it's at City Hall. You just get the license and pay their fee. And from that point, now you're at least solidified and can open up a bank account.
Okay. Business checking, right?
Right.
Okay.
And without going too fast ahead, that's the thing that's going to allow you in the very beginning to start creating your own checks and balances, to keep your own books, which is the bank account.
Okay.
That's very important.
Gotcha. Are you guys listening? Cool. I know we just discussed the differences between the two, but do you feel like notaries starting off, they should LLC immediately, or should they just keep it sole proprietor?
Great question. Now, with a notary business, there's always going to be a need for that. So as long as you want to be affiliated with it, as long as you have the desire, and the backup, that's the very first thing anybody wanting to be in business should ask themselves. How serious am I?
Yeah.
Do I want this? And if I'm going to invest the time and the money and the sweat equity into it, an LLC is the best thing to do.
Okay. And then, so we decided that if you're gonna really devote your time to it, you should go ahead and just do the LLC, which every state is different as far as the processing. But so for Virginia, do you want to go over really quick the process for?
Absolutely.
Yay!
All right.
And keep in mind, every state is different as far as the LLC process. Pretty similar, but the fees vary, and what you have to file varies. But if you can see this screen, we're going to go over. And don't worry, we're going to send this to you in the training later, too. So you'll have that information more up close.
Absolutely. Now, this website is scc.virginia.gov. This is the State Corporation Commission for Virginia. And like you said, every state is different, but every state has a regulatory body for corporations to set themselves up. This is the first step in creating the LLC. Okay. They have the drop-down boxes, and you go as a new business because you're creating it.
So let me say the link again. So it's scc.virginia.gov. If you're in Virginia, Ashley's going to put the link in the comments.
And then once you're on the website, you want to create a new business. Now, this is probably, they've updated this website about a year ago because it used to be very simplistic, but now there's a lot of different useful links that help you get to where you got to go. And just like with anything online, first thing you would do is create a profile. I had this automatically set in, so it would already be here.
For us?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, he's awesome.
So once you sign in, this is the dashboard.
Okay.
And then your online services. Right here's the drop-down box. You're a new business. Once you create the new business, it goes right here. Now, this is the first thing with an LLC. There's a lot of different types of business structures.
Yeah.
LLC is here, limited liability company. You can have a partnership, which is another type of business structure. The requirement is there has to be at least 2 people involved. It still has the structure of an LLC, but it's a partnership.
Okay.
So the biggest difference from there, starting there, a partnership, say there are 2 notaries that want to form a conglomerate, or they were a LLC and want to build their base bigger or join together. This is where they would do that.
So can 2 LLCs come together?
Yes.
Under a limited partnership?
Right. There'll be a partnership.
So like 2 notaries that have their own business and they want to do it together, they can just join together.
Absolutely.
Cool.
It's like 2 lawyers that become partners or merge together.
That's why you see like the 3 names.
Right.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And then there's a stock corporation, which is called a C corporation or incorporated.
That's a C corp. Okay.
And the LLC, the differences between the 3. There's a really good link on the IRS's website that breaks down what type of business, which one you should choose based on what you are looking to do.
We'll give you guys the link to that too.
Absolutely. But once you decide what your business's entity is going to be, and then you just go continue, and then it's going to ask every limited liability or every entity has what's called articles. And an article is simply what this company is doing. It's existing, being created on whatever day, and what their purpose is, what type of business they're doing, whether it's whatever type of structure it's going to have, or what the design of the business is, whether it's restaurant, accounting, whatever the spectrum is.
Okay.
And I love the new design because it just next, then next, as opposed to it kind of does it helps you a lot along the way.
Yeah.
And then here it just describes what the articles are. So the proposed business entity name must be distinguishable upon the records of the commission from the names of all active business entities. And that kind of what that means is for the state of Virginia, whatever you say the name is going to be, if whatever you type, If it's distinguishable, then that means no one else in Virginia has that name. So that
Okay.
allows you to go forward.